Alright guys, so this is the Shapeways RC Marketplace. You see we got dedicated categories for crawler, buggy, drifting, and monster truck. Body, suspension, wheels, and tires. You can shop by scale. Places you've heard of like Night Customs and Junkyard Stance, RC Nerds. Parts from everything from SEX 10s to Tamiya sandrails, scale engines for Tamiya, everything. Everything you could think of. So let's get to work in the shop. What's going on there, YouTube? Brown Box Special. Got another package from Shapeways, and gonna be working on the Sand Scorcher again finally. This is all going with the Apocalypse theme. Like I said, I am planning on doing another body for this. I do have it, but I got so much other stuff happening right now. We'll have to wait on that body for a little bit. And we're just going to focus on the end of the world. So let's get this thing opened up. Alright, so another well-packaged package from Shapeways. We've got our list here. So got lots of really good bubble wrap. Sand Scorcher parts. We have a rear deck lid. We've got a set of scale Volkswagen style wheels. We've got, where are they? All four of these things kind of go together. These are from Junkyard Stance. They're little side racks. One holds a gas can, one holds nitrous bottles. They go on the side of the VW body. And last, not least, we've got inner fenders for this body. Complete printed. I think those are the front, and these are the rear. So let me get our friends at Shapeways wanting to help me along with this build. Got some really cool stuff. Inner fenders. I'm sorry, I do not know who designed these. I apologize. It does not say on here. But all the links are in the video description box. You can go see the entire list of items that I have here in front of us. Gosh, I want to say these were Night Custom. I could be wrong. I apologize. It's been a little bit since I ordered these. I've had so many other builds going on. See, those are material BSF number 2, 3. It doesn't say. I don't know. So we've got inner fenders. I'm pretty sure these are the front. I have no idea how these mount. It's going to be interesting to figure out. There are video support for some of this stuff through Junkyard Stance and Night Customs. They have some links on their store page on Shapeways showing how the things go together and what it all looks like complete. These have a really good black finish already. I don't think I'll be painting these because they're just going to be, you know, to darken up the inside so you don't see through the whole body. But they look really nice. This is the side you're going to see. It's got paneling made into it. I see lots of places to mount screws, so I'm guessing they attach firmly, which is very good. So let me get these shiny bags out of the way. Next up, let's look at the wheels. Now these are made to replace the outside half of the stock Sand Scorcher wheel. They feel pretty good. They're fairly thick. Not sure yet what I want to do with these. I may save these for the other body. So we'll put those aside for now. But they have the stock pattern like the Sand Scorcher wheel has, but it's also a Volkswagen design, and looks pretty cool. Oh, all right. The deck lid. The way the Volkswagen bug body is shaped, you got that rear window all exposed, and this will just give you something in there to not make it look so noticeable. Now that may be another issue because I forgot I put the mesh in the windows, so that might be something we save for the next body as well. Just have to see how it looks, see if it's necessary or not. This is probably the most exciting part. These are from Junkyard Stance. I know that for a fact. And they go on the side of the bug body. We have a basket that holds a fuel tank, jerry can type tank, which that's nice. That's smooth. Man, that's really smooth. Fits in nice and snug. And then the other one holds some nitrous bottles, because you can't have a post-apocalyptic Volkswagen without nitrous. And it even has a fitting on it for the bottles to attach to, like the hose at the top. So it's made, if I can hold the dang thing, it slides in there. I'll wait till we're done painting it before I try to force it in there. And you see NO2 on the side there, or NOS, can't tell. You got little valves on the bottles, everything. So those are pretty nice. That's and they're angled here to fit against the body. It's going to be challenging part of that is going to be marking and drilling the holes in the body, because it's going to be some pretty small hardware and take some pretty small screws, but we'll give it a shot. I guess you could glue it, but we want it to be a little bit more durable than that. So let's let me show you a little bit closer here. There you can see a little bit more of the detail. That fits perfectly, nice and snug. I wouldn't even glue that. That feels like solid. There's no hollow on the inside of it. Get this nice hole design. It's going to be tricky to paint. It's going to be interesting. Make some neat effects out of it, hopefully. Oop, phone's going crazy. The NOS bottles. It's going to be cool. So, let me get the bug body over here. Alright guys, so I was wrong. All of this stuff here is by Junkyard Stance, and it's all made to work together. These are the rear inner fenders. They bolt to the deck lid. The rear inner fenders have holes for these to mount on the outside. So you just drill a couple of your holes all the way through from here, and then you can mount this up from the outside of the body. Will be the opposite side like that. And bada boom, bada bing. So I'm going to take a little break from this here and get some paint. So I ran out of black paint here over the weekend. I've been doing so many videos, so yeah, I'm planning on bolting this all up with scale hardware. Let me get all that stuff together and get some paint, and then we'll get moving on this. Alright guys, so I've been doing a little mocking up here. I had to do some trimming. My mesh and hot glue was in the way, but I about got the rear fenders and the rear deck lid lined up, and I'm almost ready to start drilling some holes. Got to do some searching for some small drill bits, but I really don't want to mess this up. It's going to be drilling through the body. We've got a mounting point here and a mounting point here, which is going to share with this, I believe. I think. Maybe. Yeah. So we'll mark that and drill it from the inside. The other two, I believe the top hole is going to be the top hole on there as well. The other one we're going to have to eyeball, so it's going to be a little tricky, but I think we can do it. We'll have 2 points already tied down. It's really a neat design. It would work a lot better without my mesh in the windows. Like I said, I had to cut back a lot of that and pry a bunch of hot glue. So note to self. Other than that, everything else is looking pretty good. I haven't moved to the front yet. I figured just to do one side at a time. So we'll get some tools and get to drilling. Alright, so I got the back two drilled, bolts in, kind of holding it. The side ones are going to be tricky. This is one of those times where you need one of those little hand drills, and I don't have those. I'm not sure how to line all this up with the stuff that I have. I can't get anything in here straight from the side. My drill gun's too big. Even if I use a Dremel, it's still too long, even with the corded attachment. Don't think it's going to be able to quite get it where I need. So back to the drawing board, trying to figure out how to drill these. Everything would have been a little easier had I not put the windows in yet, because I could probably hit the top hole through the window over here. But yeah, it's a challenge. You need like a template to throw on the outside of the fender to guide you where to drill. That would be super handy. So let me do some brainstorming here, see what I can come up with. Alright guys, so I got 2 holes on each side drilled. I got it lined up pretty good, just eyeballing it. It was tedious, but got them drilled. I'm waiting. I'm going to go ahead and paint. That way I don't have to keep threading these off and on. I don't want to strip out the holes on the back of the printed parts. So, alright guys, so I got the little side racks outside drying the paint. I went ahead and got the front fenders installed completely. Now we reused a stock bolt that bolts the front grille on. Again, I picked this kit up secondhand. The front part of the body had been molded on, and there was a stock kit screw in it, and I took it out and just used some, I've been using RC 4-wheel drive beadlock hardware. I've got some in my bin. But you can see up in there, and gives you a nice close off of inside, so you won't be able to see electronics and stuff once we get it to that point. See if you can see in the back here. Pretty happy with it. It hasn't been easy to install. I will say that. I had to do a little bit of trimming on the front to fit around the headlight buckets and some things like that to get it in place. It's not just a simple take it out of the box and put it right on type deal. You've got to do a little bit of work, a little modification, and drilling some holes and stuff like that. So, but it looks good. I like it. I wish my body would set a little lower on my frame, but I think this being an aftermarket chassis, the rear engine guard sticks up a little bit higher. So I got the stock body mount now for the rear. The front's setting in the hole. I could put a pin through it and hold it down. I'm not sure yet about the rear. We might, looking at those inner fenders, I could probably get another 1/4 inch drop out of it, but I'm gonna have to trim the body back here so the engine guard can come up into it a little bit. But I think that's what we're going to have to do based on where the roll bar sits to the body, because they kind of snap, supposed to snap around it anyway. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it that low, since the inner fenders are only going to give us, like I said, about a 1/4 inch. But maybe worth a shot. I still got a little bit for that paint dries, so let's go ahead and mess with that. Alright guys, I got it set a little bit lower. I had to change the way the motor wires are run. Fits more snugly now. I don't think I have the right pin for that front body mount, so yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But still waiting on the paint to dry for the racks on the side. I think it's time to go ahead and start the weathering, because I need to weather behind where those go. I'm trying to get an idea here. So the Volkswagen is metal, but the Baja Bug, the fenders are fiberglass, the hood, the front end are fiberglass. So we've got to, kind of be reasonable where we put our rust at. I'm going to make the whole thing dingy and dirty, but down here on the running boards, I'm going to go ahead and put quite a bit of the real rust using my new product. And I'm going to try to use my Vallejo rust streaks on the mesh in the windows and have it run down the sides. I'm not sure yet how to blend that, because I need another type of product, and I don't know what it is yet, because I don't want it to just be stark flat black with rust streaks. It needs to all be kind of rusty and dirty with heavier streaks. So I think I'm going to do a rust wash over the body, say for the fiberglass parts, and then come back with the actual rust in the cracks and crevices, bottom of the doors and things like that, and then come back with the rust streaks on the mesh and make it heavy and run down on top of whatever else we've already done. That's going to take a while on all this stuff to dry piece by piece, so I'm going to try to keep the video as interesting as possible. Alright guys, so messed up. I was going to do my AK rust streaks and it's empty, and I can't find my other bottle. So I ordered some more online. It'll be a couple days, hopefully only a couple days. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and use my new metal effects and do a base coat on the handles and some in the cracks. And we'll pick this video up later after that. So, sucks. I was hoping to really get this done. I was excited to see it. But you gotta be patient, I guess. That's part of the hobby. It's 34 years old. I still have a problem being patient. But yep, I'm gonna get to work on this. I'm gonna hit the grab handles and some of the running board and around the door edges and things like of that nature, where there will be more rust on this body, and then we can add the other rust on top of it later. Alright guys, so I did one coat on this, let it dry for a bit. I learned from my test video that 2 coats is necessary, it seems like. It's whatever it specifies in the instructions, so I just tried to keep it strictly to the metal parts. I got a little bit on the fenders, but we'll just have to roll with it. Seems like it's drying pretty quick, so hopefully I can knock out a second coat here and then leave it for the night. And we can try to rust it tomorrow. And it's going to be a week-long video to make, but yeah, hopefully the stuff will be dry later for the sides. We can go ahead and mount that up once we get this part rusted. I guess I'm going to have to wait on that too until I get more of my rust streaks, because I need to do behind that, because that's going to be a pretty rotted area since there's going to be stuff on top of it and holes drilled through the body, so it needs to look rusted down behind it. So now we wait. Alright guys. A few days have passed. I got my rust streaks in. Ordered some more of this stuff. So the paint is dry on my little racks for the side from Shapeways, and I painted the fuels tank red, the nitrous bottles blue, and we're going to weather those up as well. I've got the roof rack here. My friend Richard Cook did this body, and that's where I got this whole kit from. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the roof rack. We already got holes for it. It's nice and centered. And we're just going to add some detail heavy rust to that. I'm going to go ahead and put some of the heavy rust on the pipe part of this. And then I guess the last thing I'm going to get to tonight is to spray the activator on the real rust. And we'll wait for it to happen. And then we'll come back with the wash and blend and add more detail. So trying to decide how I want to do the dirty these up, because it's awful bright blue and pretty bright yellow or red, so I think I don't have much black spray paint left. I was gonna do just a heavy spray and then wipe, but I think I'm just gonna have to do it with a paint marker since I don't have any good like heavy Rust-Oleum flat black. All I've got is a little bit of like Model Master paint, so that's, I don't want to use that. I need that for detail stuff on the Bronco build. Yeah, I keep forgetting to go get more paint, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put more rust on these, the roof rack. I went ahead and did the windows, the mesh in the windows. Thought that would be a nice look. So yeah. Alright guys, so I've got everything drying. I've got my gas can and stuff kind of weathered. I went ahead and hit the wheels, the new Shapeways VW style wheels, with all rust. Nothing else, just 3D printed plastic, that iron oxide paint, and we'll see how that comes out. I just had a vision for it the other day while I was waiting on some stuff to come, and thought that might look kind of cool. So we'll try that. Another thing I'm going to try, I used this spritzer bottle for the rust activator before, and You can see here on like this, anywhere there's not rust, it gets a white, icky looking residue. So I don't want my entire body to be like that, and I don't want to have to try to wipe off extra stuff. So I think I'm just going to try to brush this on. The windows would have been a lot easier to do with the spritzer, which I may still hit those with it. But as far as the parts of the body, I'm going to do it with a brush. So, get set up, let's go. Alright guys, look at that. That's been, maybe 15 hours since I did the second coat. We watched the first bit of it go in time lapse. It's looking pretty cool. There's so many different layers, it's pretty neat. You can see the running boards have a real heavy rust where it pulled up. A couple areas I might redo. It's kind of splotchy. I need some new paint brushes. It's on my shopping list this weekend. This side's not quite as severe, but it's got that white stuff all over it. But I think the next step is going to be to put on the side racks, and then I'm going to use some of the rust streaks on the rest of it, and we'll see what kind of look we can get. I haven't attached the roof rack yet either. I hit it with some rust as well, trying to make it match. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those side racks on, and we'll start looking at the next step. All right, guys, I'm digging it. Those things look sweet on here. Painted the trash can. Sorry, guys. It's been begging all week to do this video. I just got home from work to do this part here, so I'm a little tired. But I painted the gas can and the nitrous bottles, and I weathered them with a black wash, but it came out looking pretty much just like my black pigment and pigment binder. So I may add a little more to those. I'm not sure yet. The colors kind of stand out, but I think it'll be alright once we get the roof rack on and start loading it up with survival gear. We'll have a little bit more contrast. I'll show you the other side. That blue kind of pops a little bit, at least the silver piping does. But those are a little tricky to mount, not gonna lie, but man, they are worth it. That's pretty cool. I got an idea. I had some issues here with the roof. You can see the brush strokes in the rust because my brush that I've been using is hard as a rock. So I think I'm gonna go big time here. I know the Volkswagen, the Baja Bug, the hood and the fenders are fiberglass, but I think for all intents and purposes here, I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. And I got me a big giant brush here. So it's time to get wild with this. Really curious to see what it's all going to look like if it's smooth and even. The wheels, the Shapeways wheels here, came out fantastic. I put one really thick coat, and I sprayed a couple coats of the stuff on them. I think a day apart maybe, and they've come out really good. They're not even, they're different, and I think it's pretty cool. These are kind of brown on this side, and this one's more of a red, and this one's got a lot of orange in it. So depending on how the body comes out, we'll have to put them on certain sides so it kind of goes with the theme. Alright guys, so I went ahead and did the whole thing. I tried dabbing it on with this big brush. It's kind of giving it a textured finish, so that'd be kind of cool if the fenders came out looking different than the rest of the body. And I did smooth out the roof a little bit where I had some brush strokes. This side didn't really get much rust on it. It's got more of the acid stuff eating into the paint, and it looks pretty cool. You know, I'm just gonna leave it. The other side's got a bit more rust, and you know, rust is rust. It does whatever rust wants, so I'm not gonna try to make it uniform. So we'll let this bit dry. Alright guys, I'm done for now. So when we left off, I did a whole another coat of rust, and it's a little too even. I didn't want to use the permacoat that comes with this because it leaves a little bit too much gloss. You can see here on this wheel, it just takes some of the realism out of it. So I did it with a pigment binder. I don't know where I did with the bottle, but my Vallejo pigment binder. It's kind of a dulling coat, and it did what I wanted, but it was too even. I probably should have stopped, you know, 2 or 3 steps ago, but I didn't. So I lightly scuffed the whole thing down to knock some of the satin dull coat off of it, and I reapplied another couple layers here and there, and just added some more spots to add a little bit more depth to it. And you can see this fender right here in front is still rusting, so things are going to happen. I did go ahead and put the wheels on, and they are fantastic. You know, I did those one thick coat of the iron paint and let them rust, left them, and they look spectacular. The texture is perfect, so that's the recommended way to use it. That's the way that works best. I just did a bunch of experimenting just to see, and I think I'm still digging the look. I wish it was a little bit more, there's a little bit more of the paint left, but you know, this is the first real project I've done with this. I've only messed with this stuff for a week, so we're learning as we go. But this side's the good side. You still got a little bit of black on the door, and it's pretty cool. It looks rough, and the way the screens and the windows rusted up as well really looked apart. The Shapeways parts, I mean, just, it's awesome. I love this thing. I'm probably going to keep the roof rack since it already has those holes up there, and I've weathered it accordingly with the rust as well. I'm not sure about those lights or anything yet. We've still got a lot of detail work to do on this. This is not done by any means. It's just getting the body work done. So yeah, let me get you a better look all the way around this thing. The front and rear bumpers kind of stick out like a sore thumb. They are a little too clean, so I'm not sure yet what I want to do about those. I still don't know what I'm going to do about the taillights either. They have lenses, but I guess you just paint those and then put the lenses over it and tint the lenses red. But I don't know. We'll worry about that. I mean, it's post-apocalypse, so taillights, headlights definitely need lights. You need forward lights, but not necessarily blinkers, because nobody cares. Yeah. This side I had to do a little bit more rusting on. Up here in this area you can see it looks fresher. But just a nice mix of stuff. When I sanded it, I got a couple of the fender edges a little too much, so I hit them with the iron paint again. So hopefully they'll rust up more over the next few days. Yeah, I think what I learned from all of this is to not put anything on it. Just leave the rust. And I should have left it alone at that point and let it sit for another week and see what it looked like. Because it will sand down. You can sand it down just like paint and get back to the whatever the body color was on this black. And but you get a lot of detail looking in like some of these cracks and stuff here. There's some chunky rust back here, and it's rough and nasty, and all the white spots you see are residue from the activator. So it makes kind of a cool effect like it did on the other door, and it just looks like corroding mess all over. The front, I did go ahead and put the headlights on, and they were chrome. Obviously I scuffed them up with probably too heavy a grit. I used like a 600 grit, and got some bare plastic spots, and then I hit them with my rust streaks, which gave them this nice tint, and in the areas where it scuffs will look more like actual rust. And I left the insides of them pretty untouched, so you still get some reflection. It looks like headlights. Put the lenses in, and got them mounted up. But yeah, I think it looks the part. Like I said, I got to do something about all this shiny aluminum here in the front and the rear. But man, the back is where it's happening. That side, I mean. The wheels, I painted the insides of the wheels black with a paint pen to, because you can see a little bit of it from the center. You can see the back half of the wheels, and yeah, that's just the stock Sand Scorcher wheel half on the inside, and then you just replace the outside half with the Shapeways print. I took these nice aluminum pieces off. I'll probably use them on my other body. I have to get another set of tires, so I don't have to change all those in and out. I was hoping to swap the scale lug nuts, but all the scale headed bolts I had like that were too short. They wouldn't work with the beadlock setup. So I just kept those. You can see the inner fenders from Shapeways. I left them black, and they block off all the light through and give it a nice extra bit of detail. I love this Shapeways stuff, these racks. I may do some more looking at the Junkyard Stance store, see what other cool items they got that I could add to this thing. Just try to make everything look grungy and nasty as possible. Up top, I just threw some stuff in the roof rack. I've got my old generator. It's like an off-brand G.I. Joe toy I found at a flea market and weathered. And then I went in through the RC 4-wheel drive toolbox that we weathered in the test video, and just tied them down, just to have something up there. As far as the windshield frame goes, I forgot to buy map gas again. It's been a week, I keep forgetting. I really want to try to braze up a metal ring with the slats in it, you know, to help block gunfire from entering the cockpit. But yeah, we'll do all that next time. So yeah, I know some of y'all probably think it's too much. Some people may like it, but it's all about having fun. I like it. I learned a lot about this new product, and it'll help me in the next time around when I use it. So big thanks again to Shapeways for helping support this build. And there's a link in the video description to the list of items that I used in this video if you want to get them for your Sand Scorcher. And yeah, that's it, guys. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next installment.